only 5 radio shows she does. So check her out. Follow her on Facebook and YouTube, Jerry Petito. Also, shout out to the Logan Bros who gave us that original song for Teens with Dreams. And welcome to our special guest, Carina Bardo. How are you, dear?
Hi, thank you so much for having me on the show. This is an honor, and I'm so excited to be, working with, or I mean, speaking with, the Teens with Dreams.
Yeah, that's going to be an awesome platform for you.
Yeah, well, it's really been my something that I've taken upon myself throughout my lifetime. I'm only 27, but throughout my whole life, I've been a mentor to girls that were younger than me. So, and even boys that were younger than me. So
I actually thought you were a little older than that, not in a bad way, just that you're so
yeah, everyone does. They're like, you've got to be like mid-30s, and I'm like, I'm 27, but I'll take it.
Same way. I think
I'm not insulted by that. Yeah.
It's like that too. I mean, he's young also. I think he has an old soul. It's just a different way to look at things. It just is what it is. Yeah. So tell us, before we get started with anything, I want all three of us to be able to tell the audience what we're doing, what we do, and maybe, what you're doing now, which may not be what you were doing 4 months ago. However, idea of what you do, and yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
So my name is Carina Bardo. I am, let's see, I would say I'm an Army Swiss knife of a lot of different things. So I'm a Jill of all trades. But really what my passion is helping people find out who they really are and putting that to the surface, and helping them to really awaken all those little dimensional aspects of themselves that they didn't know were there, just bring them out and bring them to the light, and they really see what they're made of. And I've been doing this for pretty much my entire life.
Wow.
So I work with True Living, at the True Living Tribe, the True Living Network. And what we do is we offer a platform for all kinds of people, like anybody, all age ranges, who are spiritual entrepreneurs. They don't even have to be spiritual, but it's just an entrepreneur that's looking for like a way out, of the system that we've been sort of just brought into, where it's like, you have to work this job, you go to this school, you have to get into this much debt, we don't really believe in that. We think there's an easier way, there's a more expressive way to step into your true power and your own leadership abilities. But you have to first awaken. You have to awaken your leadership abilities.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people might be, whether they're entrepreneurs or not today, they might be looking to do that because of what's happening in the country,
Exactly. And so on Wednesday nights at 7:30, we offer what I call the bridge. And it's where, like, if you want to get to that land of freedom, really that land of freedom, then come to this bridge meeting, and you'll be opened up to a whole new world of possibilities, because you're opening yourself up to all these new connections with a network of mindful industry leaders, and they are there to support you because you will support them. So it's a cycle of giving support to each other, and in that process, we're really changing the way the world is going to make money. So it's a big deal.
I think the world itself is going through its own shift right now, and that's a big part of everything. Like I said, Marco and I are on location today, yet it's kind of on the down low. We're kind of looking at some things and just taking in some different things, on maybe a new path, or, tweaking an existing path or something like that. Marco, tell us a little bit about, your idea for Teens with Dreams and what you're doing and what you're going to be doing down the road, that you may not be doing it right now, but I know that you're tweaking some things also.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying. My whole purpose is like the Teens with Dreams, like just motivating other young teens that I feel like they have, you know, just by having like a best friend or knowing that somebody is there, if somebody's there for them, just a little word by inspiration, just bringing somebody into the show, you know, and like motivating them. Even me
Mhm.
saying my life or everything I've been through, and just that word of inspiration that'll make their day, you know. Because when I was going to high school, I'm only 21, but when I was going to high school, I had a lot of friends or people that I knew that didn't really have that like friendship, you know, or that person they wanted to go to. So they didn't have no one, you know, that, or they always bring them down, whatever. So I just want to have like, I just want to give them a word of inspiration, you know, for them to know that there's someone out there for them, or there's like there's a door open for them.
Yeah, yeah, we were talking about
Oh
that
my
earlier,
God.
that people come to us. I don't know if it's you, me, Marco, whatever, Jerry, Mike, people like that, that just attract people asking for advice. Now, I know, of course, it comes with experience and things that we've gone through, yet we were talking about, people always come to us for advice. So that's part of the whole system. I
Yeah.
mean,
So that's
they,
like
they,
people are
right?
right. So you know that people are coming to you because, they're ready for what you have to offer. And I just love that, you said, oh, what was it that you said? Just everything that you just put into context is really the whole point of what we're doing. It's to create connection, and
Mm-hmm,
because connection, human relationships are the most beneficial thing you can have in your life, and they're also the most challenging because
mm-hmm,
you're dealing with everyone's past traumas, you're dealing with their triggers, you're dealing with their hopes and their dreams and their future goals, and then also their past and the things that have taught them how to be. um and it's different. It's everybody's operating within their own little universe, of their own experiences. And so to offer the opportunity for someone to learn from your experiences as well in a way that is constructive to them, that doesn't diminish who they are, is an incredible superpower that we have. And there's a lot of people that also have that superpower, but they're not aware. Maybe they're not really aware that it is a superpower. And that's what I think we all are trying to wake people up to, is that you have this amazing ability within you. And
mm-hmm.
to wake up to it is going to be the thing that pushes you forward into what you actually want to do with your life.
Right, right, right. And I think a lot of people today are really shifting their way of thought, their way of, business, their way of doing lots of things. Maybe not just business, but lots of things. I mean, people are home, people are cooking more, people are, interacting with their families more,
Painting their homes.
and cleaning their homes, right?
Painting their homes.
Painting their homes, and it's just like a whole different paradigm shift for
Mhm.
not only business people, but in our everyday way of life these days, don't you think?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's wild. I mean, I feel so bad. I picked up my niece from the school bus the other day, and she went to school. She went to
I
school.
was
She
going to say
started
she's
3 days
actually going
ago.
to school.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she's in kindergarten. And she asked me, and actually she didn't ask me, but she told me, she was like, "Yeah, I wore a mask and a face shield." And I'm like, "Oh my God, like, you poor thing. Like, you're in kindergarten. Like, could you imagine being in kindergarten and looking around you and seeing everybody in face masks or face shields?
Mm,
It's I just feel so like,
yeah, bad for the way it is today. Yeah.
it is what it is. And
Yeah.
that's the hard part, is like, how do we cope with that? How do
Hmm.
we, and just the kids are so good they're so good about it. They don't question it. They're just like,
Yeah.
she's like, "I
They don't
kind of
really
like
know.
wearing my mask." She doesn't
And
even know.
I think any words of positivity or any words of inspiration today will go much farther than it may have gone in the past because of what people are seeing around them, what they're
Hmm.
thinking, what they're doing,
Yeah.
all the craziness that's going on. So let me just tell you a little bit about my business so that the
Yes.
viewers understand that this is Ava's Casual Chat. So we talk about lots of different topics. Yet my business is for A Star, and it's an umbrella company over the entertainment industry. So we do lots of things. My background's in music and theater. I also ran my father's businesses for quite some years. So I took all of that experience and put it into one place. However, that said, I'm tweaking a lot of things right now. So moving forward, there's going to be some real significant changes. I'm just not exactly sure what they are yet, although I've talked to a few people about them. I'm actually picking Mike's brain, and we've been doing some idea bouncing and things like that. Yeah, all the legs of the business are still there. We work with indie authors, indie artists, and you know, special events. Obviously, there's no special events going on right now, and I'm really not that technologically savvy to do. Like, there's a lot of things I could be doing online that I'm not doing, and I don't know if it's part depression, part laziness, or just part not knowing what to do. Yet I'm learning. I'm watching things. I'm learning. And you guys are young, so you have a wealth of time that you can kind of sink into some meaty things
Yeah.
with your businesses and stuff. So
Yeah.
so what's going on with you these days? What are you looking to do? What are you looking to do down the road, like the 3, 4, 5 years we were talking about earlier?
I want to hopefully get on the stage and talk to young people. You know,
Oh, that's
And that's
awesome.
what you want to do too,
you
right,
know.
Karina?
You know what? It's funny you ask that. I literally just wrote down in my journal. I journal a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I really get, I open up my intuition for guidance just to flow through. And I got these questions on, like, what is it that you really want? Do you want to be on stage? Do you want to be in the limelight? Do you want to live a private life? Do you want to to be behind the scenes, maybe helping
So
someone
wait,
else?
let me ask you this much. How do you know that if you don't give some of those things a try?
It's true. It's true.
So,
See, I think it's
you
hard
have,
because no matter what way you choose, there's pros and cons. So,
when I was studying the theater, a couple of my teachers used to say, you have to try on your acting teachers, your professors, your whatever. You have to try them on like clothing and see
yeah,
what fits for you. Because what may work for one person may not work for you, or may not work for
right.
somebody else, or may not work for me. So you have to try on your mentors, your teachers, your people that you get all this experience from. Don't you agree?
Oh, I agree. And you know what? As you try on, I think it's important to not get attached to the outcome, which is something that's hard for
That's
especially
hard. Yeah, I was just going to say that's hard. Yeah.
yeah, for creative people and people that put their all into their life, into their projects, people that just love full out. It gets hard because maybe something that you're trying on doesn't work, and you might have to change gears, or you might have to tweak something, you might have to alter it, Um, but I think it's important for us not to be so hard on ourselves, thinking, oh, I made the wrong choice, now I'm a failure. You're not a failure.
Right.
You're
Right.
you're a human being going through the experience of life. Like,
Right. We were
you're
talking on the call the other night, on the Wednesday night call, about inspired action. So, I mean, what advice would both of you give to a young person that's maybe tried one of those things on and didn't go the way they thought it would go? So, what's going to spark you to have the wherewithal to try something else?
yeah.
So how do you guys feel about that? Being your guys are close in age. How do you feel about taking an inspired action? Do you wait for everything to be perfect, or do you jump in and do something when you feel it?
I want Marco to answer that first.
um, I guess keep going for it. Keep trying it until actually something hits.
Something fits. Yeah, that's what I
You
would
know.
say. That's what I would say. What about
Yeah.
you, Kareem? Yeah, feel the
I
same way?
think I think taking inspired action is facing your fears.
Yeah,
Because
that's a good way to look at it.
yeah, a lot of times, and a lot of times that fears just change because it's this change of the unknown. Well, what if this happens, and what if I don't feel comfortable there, and what if there's that person, and what if they say this to me, and what if I don't get that job or that gig, or like. But I think the most important thing for us is just to trust in our heart. Just follow your heart. what feels good to you, what feels like, oh, yes, you
Yep.
know,
Well, you can't spell life without the big if in the middle.
right.
So,
That's true.
you
Oh,
have
I
to be
like that.
able,
I never heard that before. That's a good saying.
to say what if, and in a positive way. I mean, this isn't working out. So what if I tried this and
Hmm.
see how that went? I mean, I think it's really important, especially for the youth today and the way the country is right now. You have to be able to step out, even if you're in your home, step out of
Right.
yourself and try things.
Well,
You
the
know what?
one thing, sorry, you
No, no,
go
you
ahead.
go.
No,
You
go
go.
ahead.
I
Um,
was just gonna. Oh,
I love it.
you go.
And Micah.
the one thing I like about the like now, 2020 and like from 19, from like 1999 to 20, it's like 20, to now. Just think there are a lot of young people are becoming their own like business owners, and it's something that's real cool because it's like they're learning how to manage their business, they're learning how to make money, and they're making on their own. They're not waiting, to go look for a job because I got a couple of friends of mine that have businesses. One of them designs clothes and shoes and stuff, and he's doing pretty well. He's an entrepreneur, and that's something like I feel that's a big way to go now for young people than
Yeah.
going to go work somewhere, and having somebody yell at you because that's what I do right now. But it's something that you have to go through, first in order
It's
to
all
get where
experience, yeah.
you want to be at. So it's all life experiences.
Well, I will say definitely to that, to anybody that is working a job because it is in their path right now, there is nothing wrong with that. You
No, you
work
got to
your
gain that
job.
experience. Hmm.
You learn from all those personalities. I always say the best people in my life were the people that were the hardest ones to deal with.
You
Those
know,
were the ones that really taught me how to get how to grow.
mhm.
Those are the ones that push you a little harder than you want to be
Yeah.
pushed.
It's funny. When I worked for my dad and ran his businesses, before I ran the businesses, I actually worked there. And it was weird to see how people would react because you're working for your family. Yet I was treated just like another employee. I wasn't even allowed to call my father dad in the shop.
Mm,
I had to call him by a formal name. And now my daughter works for our family and she works just like another employee. And
wow.
it's all experience that you gain from doing that, whether it's for your family or not. But
Mhm.
like you said, that's the path that's in front of you right now. Yet you still put that path along with your dreams and along with your
Right.
goals, and you try to figure out how to work them together, right? Well, you and
Right.
I were talking about that
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
Yeah, some like I always worked two jobs, and one
yeah,
was my passion job and one was my
sure.
it's money. I was always like a waitress and a salesperson or something like that.
Yeah,
But I learned so much from those jobs. I
I
would
think a lot of people are doing that.
any Yes.
Right,
And if
a
you're
lot of people are doing 2 gigs, 3 gigs sometimes, but
yeah.
two really, and finding their passion, and it's almost like the normal thing to do two things at one time these
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. I mean, stay busy. Like fill up your time. Although I will say one thing. I am a person that is this was a topic that came up in True Living this week. And it was a very interesting topic. And it was about how, for all these like entrepreneurs or people that are spiritual or people just that are creatives in general, we have these fluctuations of energy. We have this ebb and flow of I want to be in my flow state where I'm super creative and I'm making all these things and I'm being really productive. But then you have a drop and you have to rest. And
Hmm.
and how do you schedule and plan your life around the flows of your creativity? And that's a
Hmm.
whole other topic that I would love to help people through because it's
And
something
that's
that
really
I've dealt with.
interesting. That's really
Yeah.
interesting because I'm a pretty creative person, and I figure like I call it maybe a little bit of depression, but it's not really depression. It's a resting stage. And
Yes.
I think the country's going through that, not only people individually, yet we're in like a resting stage. So this is a good time, especially for people like you guys, to plan out. I mean, I like to plan, I mean, they say life happens to you when you're planning other things, yet
Right.
I still like to plan, and I go with a guidance for that plan. Yet we still have to plan things. And I think maybe that's, for me, that's where it's maybe a resting stage right
Yeah.
now. And I'm kind of looking at different things and trying to see where they would fit in, where I reside right now in
Well, that's
myself.
awesome. Everyone's in the same boat.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing this.
Now we're in a different boat. No.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
kidding.
okay, there are some people that are just flowing through with their normal life. There's all this chaos happening around them, and they just keep pushing through. My dad is one of them, and I honor him for that. That's so important because for me, I'm building this new. I don't know what it's going to end up being. We could call it a business, we could call it an organization, we could call it a platform, a network, whatever it is. But I've been busier now than ever.
Yeah,
than
that's crazy.
Yeah, and I haven't had any time to rest. So I'm like
Mhm.
learning, like, oh my gosh, you have to take care of yourself. You have to rest because you can't just push without
Yeah.
without giving back to yourself.
I keep
That's
telling my
hard.
husband that he's going crazy right now because he does two things also, and it's all he does. And I'm like, you need to take a little break, even if it's just a few hours a day,
Right.
something, to regroup yourself.
Right.
So what is it that you wanted to say that you wanted to inspire teens about? Because that's like Marco's area, and I
Oh,
think you
well,
guys have hit it off really well.
okay. So Marco, would you mind answering that one first?
What's your what do you want to do to inspire teens? Tell me what you were talking about doing today, that you were becoming, so that you could inspire other people.
Well,
What you said you wanted to do earlier, you don't remember? Oh, he said he wanted to become a chaplain today, so
Oh,
he could
wow.
talk to. Yeah, so
oh, I'm Christian, so it's like I feel like I've been like I feel like I've always been a difference in this world. So I've always been like my mom is a pastor as well, so she would always push me into like always going for the young people and like motivating young people and helping
Mhm.
them and guiding them into good things. You know, so I want to be inspirational to them. I'm not perfect. Nobody else is perfect, but I feel like what I've been through life. I feel like many people has been through that as well. So I just want to just motivate them and know that there's something out there for them to keep going, and to not give up, because there's always an open door or something out there for them.
I want to
Um,
do the same things with people that are older, because
yeah.
the youth is what's coming up, but there's a lot of older people that have started new professions, new careers, new life-changing experiences later in life.
Mhm.
Even having children later in life, so that brings a challenge as your child grows that you're older. So
Right.
there's things that will motivate people of my age and in and around my age as well. So going back to the teens, Carina, what do you feel like you want to do?
Well, I think for sure, I mean, just listening to you two and how, Ava, you want to focus on the older generations, and Marco, you want to focus on the younger generations. Well, all the generations are in deep need of
Yes.
inspiration right now because there's so many people. Like, for example, like my grandmother, she's in a nursing home, and she's been locked in her room for like 7 months
Hmm.
without any social contact. I'm like, that must feel like jail. You know,
Yeah.
she
Right. It's
she
horrible.
needs that inspiration. She needs, and those people are going to be listening to radio shows,
Hmm.
or on TV. My grandma doesn't use a phone, like a cell phone, so like having still, giving that back to them is so important. And then also for the kids, oh my gosh, to speak up and to use your voice is the most powerful thing you have.
Hmm.
This is what will change the world. It is how you use your voice. And
Hmm.
if you and but here's the thing, there's a lot of people that don't know how to use their voice, or are not confident to use their voice, or are scared to use their voice, and to just refuse to be quiet and to speak passionately and authentically and truthfully and
Hmm.
intelligently with purpose is what will change the world. There's a lot of people that have the confidence to speak, but maybe they're not speaking about things that, that could really benefit someone's life. I mean, they're still living in their truth. That's totally fine. But it's important for, if you are someone that you feel like you can really benefit someone's life with the truths that you share, then you better do yourself the favor of sharing it, and not just yourself, but everybody else, because that will travel more than you could ever know.
Sure. And you said this earlier. Sometimes people are just not aware. And I think now is a time where people are becoming more aware of themselves, their environment, their surroundings, and where they want to be. Yes, there are people that, some of them are not, they're not aware, and they're not going to be aware yet. However, the ones that are, doesn't really matter what age they are. I mean, I know the world comes up for the youth that are coming up. However, no matter what age you are, you can always learn, and you can always put yourself out there and be, you know, susceptible to what
Hmm.
somebody has to tell you. I don't care what age
Right.
you are, you know.
Right. It's
So,
hard.
yeah.
If you put yourself out there, you have to accept the fact that you will have people tell you that you're wrong. And you will have
Yeah.
people tell you to shut up and be quiet. And you will have
Right.
people tell you to sit down. But if you know that what you are teaching is correct, or just that it's your truth, if you're telling your story, that is that is such value to other people, because we all experience birth, we all experience childhood, we all experience going to school, we all experience, getting a job, we all experience getting, having a relationship, and we all experience the same types of things, and so we can all help each other out with these. Even if you think that, oh well, I don't have like this amazing story. If you get a little bit creative, and think a little bit harder about your story, you're going to see that you do have a story.
Yeah, I was going to say there's always an amazing story. We just have to find it.
Yeah.
There's always something that you could share with your life and your own experience that will help somebody else. Whether it's something, you went through in a bad way, or something you went through in a good way. It's
Right.
still a story that you're passing along to the next generation, to the next person, to the next adventure, to the next, whatever it is coming in your path.
Hmm. I think every day we run through the motions. We wake up, we take a shower, we eat breakfast, and sometimes it's hard to actually sit down and consider, like, where have I been? What have I learned in my life? What can I help people with? And so that's really what we do in True Living, is that we give them that time every week to
Hmm.
sit down with themselves, and also with a supportive community, and be like, what makes you great? What do you want to, speak into existence? What do you want the world to know? How do you want to help the world? And because we're watching Instagram, we're watching, the politics, we're watching everybody else.
Hmm.
And and when do we really sit down and have that safe space within ourselves to
You know,
experience the life-changing effects of having a conversation with you and
yeah.
God?
Yep. I mean, it's amazing to hear both of you talk like that, because you're so young, relatively so young. Like I said, you're both mature for your age. Yet it's so important that we reach out to those people who are might be a little afraid because they don't have that knowledge or whatever.
Mhm.
What I wanted to make the point of is that intel is available everywhere now. I mean, the internet opened that up where you can, I mean, look, Nim's going to be on my show next month from Spain. So
That's
it's like,
awesome.
and he's absolutely amazing. How would we ever know this? So having that time for yourself in your own space is really important, because we can go anywhere in the world today
Mhm.
via the internet, via the phone, via whatever, and sometimes that's not always a good thing, yet it's a good
Right,
experience to
right, right.
add
And
to your arsenal of stuff.
absolutely. Oh, Nim is awesome. I'm so happy
I
that you're going to
love it.
have him on
I
your
just
show. He
yeah,
did a
yeah.
he did a channeling session for me. I still have to write my testimonial. I've been so busy. I feel so
Oh,
bad.
he did one for me too. It was really amazing. And it's funny because it wasn't what I expected. It wasn't like a channeling for like, what path should I go on or what
Right.
am I doing? It was more like a total package, just talking about our spirits,
Yes.
our inner spirits, not like anything that's tangibly going to happen, but
Right.
just we
Right.
are, how we behave, how
Yep.
we see life, how we see other people, and and I just found him to be quite interesting. I
And
love the
Nim,
people from the True Living
Nim
team, and I got to tell you, I love the people at Hamilton Radio because they, especially our sponsor Jerry, I know she's listening. She's just amazing, and to walk what she's walked through is something that everybody can take something away with. So I love making new connections. So having these connections with Ruben and Gino and Jerry, and then having the connections, from the True Living team, and also Monk, who's on the show as well. And it's just amazing how when you open yourself up to other people and other personalities, what you gain out of it,
mhm.
sharing that with somebody else.
And it's that support. It's that thing where that no matter what, say you lost your job, okay, that you could log into that call and be like, hey guys, I lost my job. Who needs help? I would love to help you. Who could use my
Mm,
skill set? And
mm,
you're going to have a whole bunch of people say, come help me. I will pay you. I will, so you are supported. There's never this thing of, like what am I going to do? I'm totally alone. I'm survival. That's what I like lived through as a child. It was just this like survival mode all the time. and
mhm,
and but like now and it's because I didn't really have this like community of like this safe space where people like genuinely want to help you grow. Like they genuinely love to see you not at your best,
mhm.
like don't show up as your best if you don't want to.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
still going to
because
love you. We're still going to support you. If you're an emotional, wreck that week, cool. Still show up and be who you are because we want to see that because we're
well,
here about
on
authentic.
something earlier. You touched on something earlier, about building authentic relationships, and I think some of that, not everything, and not everybody, but some of that was getting a little out of control before all of this happened. Yet,
Oh, yeah.
I think building these authentic relationships with people, I mean, people do business with people they know, like, and trust, period. If
Right.
they don't know you and they don't like you, they're not going to do business with you.
Right.
No matter what you do, you're not going to resonate with everybody. Yet, finding that person that resonates with you and fits with you is so important. And you were talking about that earlier, like, I know who I can trust. I know who has my back, you know, and I think it's so important to build those relationships,
Yeah.
cultivate those relationships, so that people, that person is there for you. You're there for them,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
that's what makes the world go round.
Well, so Marco, what is it that makes you be able to trust someone? Like, I was just thinking, like, well, the first step is to use your voice. You have to communicate. You
Right.
have to take that first step of, hi, I'm Marco. Hi, I'm Carina. You know, I like what you do. I like your outfit. You have great eyes. You like, just get
Sincere compliments.
that first sincere, yeah, that first just sincere introduction to who you are and to what you do. But that is oftentimes the hardest part. Is just like reaching out and putting yourself out there, and that's why so many people have this fear of using their voice and putting themselves out to the whole world because they have this fear of putting themselves out to one person. But if you try it, so Marco, like, what is it that you recognize within somebody that makes you be able to trust them?
I guess the way they act, talk to you. Um, I'm a person that I can feel like when the person don't like me, or like I feel like there's like no connection there. Um, like I don't know, the way they act, or they can act differently. I mean, the first day you meet them, they can act this way, and then tomorrow they can be like, I don't know you. And I've had a lot of those people happen to me, like, done that to me many times.
And that's
But
not an authentic person, I don't believe. Even if you have things that make you change a little bit about how you're behaving, you're still behaving in a nice way to people. And I don't know, I think that the kindness spreading that's going around right now is very important because sometimes people just forget.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they're really like that deep down inside. Yet,
Right.
like you said, you have a vibe. Like to me, like we were talking about superpowers in the one call, and I love the ability that I have to fit in with any type of person, no matter how old they are, no matter how young they are. I just have that ability, and that
Mm-hmm.
affords me to get that vibe, you know. And I think, do you guys feel that? Do you feel that about like get a vibe from somebody right away if
Oh,
you
for
think they're
sure.
gonna resonate or not?
For sure. Well, it's all has to do with ego, you know? Is your
Mhm.
ego showing a little too much? Like, feel
You know
that.
the shirt that says "Got milk"? Maybe it should say "Got ego."
Got ego? Yeah. Well, we all have an
Same way.
ego, we all have an ego, and that ego can be based on fear, it's the fear of being judged.
Mhm.
And but we do have to accept that within people. It's like, yeah, they just need a little more love, and so
Right.
that's being a true leader, is
Hmm.
seeing that even though that person is saying that, don't talk to me, I'm too good for you. If you ask them how they were feeling, in a one-on-one or something, I don't know. Maybe that's not the right thing to ask, but if you ask them something, if you had a real authentic conversation with them, you would think they're entirely different.
Hmm.
And a lot of people that have went through trauma in their life have that, because it's the mask that they had to, it's their protection mechanism that they had to wear in order to not be so vulnerable, because
Right.
they're hurting inside. You have to put a band-aid over the wound, or a cast over your broken ankle,
Yeah, you
so
still have to stand up for what you believe in, and if somebody else isn't resonating with that, you know, you have to move on.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like I was built with the kindness bone, yet I
Hmm.
constantly say, "Don't mistake my kindness for my
Right.
weakness."
I'm
You
the
know,
same way. I'm the
yeah,
same
and
way.
and I'll be the first one to give you the shirt off my back, but push that wrong button, and a different attitude comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we all have that, but how we can control that. I don't know. I think we're all a bit of control freaks when we're in these
I'm
these kind of positions, but how we control that is a big part of our true authenticity. You know?
well, I like that you mentioned, we're getting into all the topics here.
Yeah, we sure
We
are. I
got
love
some
it.
deep. So control. Okay, so this has been a little thing in my life as of recent. Because like learning how to work with a team in a community, you have to learn how to let go of control. Even
Delegate.
though
Yeah, it's
I'm
hard.
I'm the type of person that, like, I'm used to running teams, but
Yeah,
now I'm not running the team. I'm part of the team that runs the team. So
right.
it's like I can't control everything, and you know, but with the things that I think need a little bit more order, I'm going to say it, but I have to let go of my the hold that I have on it
Yeah.
for it to
I
have an
think people
outcome.
like us that are in like sort of leadership kind of people have a little trouble with that. I think a lot of people in those positions have a little trouble with control. And I
Absolutely.
know, like, I go to a party sometimes and they say, don't go to the party as the party planner. Just go as a guest. I can't do that. And then I finally accepted the fact that that's who I am. I like
Hmm.
to see behind the scenes. I like to be behind the
Yeah.
scenes. I like to know what's going on to get to where it is now. And I just kind of accept the fact that that's who I am.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I'm very similar. It's this thing of, well, if it all falls apart, then it's on me. And
right.
so we take this responsibility of, and that's where the control comes from.
Yeah,
And like for me, it comes from my childhood. I blamed if anything bad happened, I blamed myself, even though it wasn't really my fault. But with the cards I was dealt, it was, well, it is your fault, and you're going to be blamed for it.
hmm.
So so it's your so I'm really working through all of this. It's not easy at
But you know
all.
what I say now to that? Get in line. You're gonna blame me, just get in line because everybody else is doing it too.
Oh my God, that's so fun. That's really how it is now. I don't know. Marco, have you experienced that in 21 years? Have you experienced the control thing that we're discussing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like you. Yeah, he has that control thing too. I think, like I said, all of us that have these roles of owning our businesses or, taking charge, like you said, you ran teams, you lead teams. I think we have I think all of us, whether we want to admit it or not, has a little bit of that control thing going on.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? It it's also needed. If nobody takes charge and makes something go,
Hmm.
then it's not going to go. No change is going to happen. So
Hmm.
we should also honor that about ourselves, and so often the word control is seen in this like terrible, terrible way. But really, if there wasn't, like if you didn't have that, would you have control over your life? You know,
Right.
would you just lay in bed all day?
Do we
Would
really have control over our life?
do we really? Yeah, and like we don't really have control. We don't really have control, but we have the control of our decisions.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
can choose how to respond.
exactly.
That's the only control that we have over our life. We
Hmm.
can decide, do we go this way or this way? And it's, do we choose love or do we choose fear?
And that we were talking about that earlier. I said, you make a plan, you choose a path. If that path is not in alignment with the universe or with God or with whatever you want to call it, it's still your choice. And then you take those other outside things and use that as your guidance. There's going to be some kind of sign, some kind of thing that tells you whether, this isn't for me,
Mhm.
and you can feel that down in your soul, and,
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes, when that happens, you just gotta accept it, and just accept that it's maybe one door is closing, but another door is opening.
mhm, mhm,
Or maybe it's also another thing of, because I'm the type of person where, if something's not working out, I learned that, well, I could literally just change my entire life if I wanted
yeah,
to, which I've done that many, many times. But
mhm,
I'm now learning that, okay, well, just because some things are off doesn't mean
right.
that it's not still perfect, you
Like,
know?
what can you do to maybe just tweak it a little and make it feel better on your skin,
Exactly.
Um, like you have that great motivational thing for what do you want to tell your teens when they get up every day? Do what?
Uh, uh,
Right? There's even a video out there that shows you that the best thing you can do for yourself is make your bed every morning. Um,
Wow. Oh my God,
So,
that's something I need you to coach me on because I am so
yeah.
bad at making
I
my
feel, I feel like, so see, right now I work 7 days a week for a painting company, and I'm like that type of person that I still manage to wake up and make my bed, even though I'm
Wow.
tired. I'm so tired. I get home around 10 at night, don't have nothing to do, and I wake up around 5 in the morning, and I still manage to make my bed. But I feel like when I don't do that, I feel like I didn't accomplish my day. And when I do
Mm,
that, I accomplish my day. I did my first task of my
wow.
day.
that's
That is
interesting.
amazing.
When you stay in a hotel and you go out for the day and you come back, the bed's made. So how
Right.
does it make you feel when you walk into that room? The
Right.
bed's made. So
But it's
that's
but
how
it's
I look at it. How does that make you feel when your bed
yeah.
is made? When you come
Well,
back to it and it's fresh and clean, no matter what other chaos is going on
uh-huh.
outside. Right.
Uh-huh. Well, it's
Right.
also this thing of, okay, well, I'm gonna get up and go to the bathroom, and I'm probably gonna get back in bed and scroll
Mhm.
on my phone for 2 hours, you know? And I don't want to do that. Like, if I want to get up and go to the gym after I go to the bathroom and brush my teeth, and then I need to make my bed so that I don't get back in, and then I can go to the gym. And
And it's funny how those simple life skills can change or make your entire day,
yeah,
week, month, year, whatever. It's
yep,
crazy. All right, so
wow.
Carina, if somebody wanted to reach you or get on the Wednesday night call or whatever, give us some information. How would someone
Yeah,
reach you?
let's see.
How can they get involved?
So if they want to get involved with True Living, they can go to truelivingnetwork.com. truelivingnetwork.com. There's also our Instagram, which is true_living_tribe. And if you'd like to get in touch with me, I offer a range of different coaching. I offer teen mentor coaching. I offer marketing coaching for if you're trying to rebrand or brand your business from website design, copywriting, graphic design, social media, the whole scope. I also do that. And also, if you're interested in, oh God, I'm also a yoga teacher and an astrologer. So I do a whole
So how
lot
does
of
someone
different things.
reach you?
So you can reach me at Carina_Bardo. That's Carina_BARDO on Instagram. You can DM me if you would like, or you can always email me at Carina@trueliving.team.
That's awesome. And Marco, same thing. How does somebody reach you?
You can find me on Facebook. I Before the virus, I went and I erased all my social media because I felt like I wanted like to get away, just get away for a while, and I feel like that helped me a lot. So the funny thing is that I had my Facebook and I lost my password for my Facebook for me being funny to closing my Facebook because I didn't want to use it anymore. So I locked out for like almost 5 months. But yeah, now I have my Facebook back, which I'm happy about. But yeah, you guys can reach me on Marco Renee Panty Program on Facebook. That's the only thing I have now is Facebook.
How do you spell your name?
Marco, like Marco, Renee Rene, Panting Panting, and then Program Bogran.
Okay.
So Marco Renee Panting Bogran on Facebook and Instagram too. Still or no? No, just on Facebook right now, which is cool because we're all redoing our things. For me, it's the number 4astar.biz. Like I said in the past shows, if you remember, I'm tweaking everything. We don't have the .com right now, except we're going to be launching another .com, which will be branded around my name. So it'll be avaholly.com. Yet it's not available yet. So right now, all the old content, anything you want to find there about the bags, about anything going on with us, you can still find at 4astar.biz. However, I'm hoping by the next show that we'll have avaholly.com set up. But yeah, also on Facebook, Instagram is Ava's Eye Bags, bags with a Z. And Facebook also, we have Ava's Eye Bags, we have 4A Star, Ava Holly. Once you find one of those pages, you'll find the others. So, but definitely reach out to everybody here because I think you guys are going to be great power partners. So you guys definitely need to connect because you're close in age, you have the same goals. You know, I think you guys will be able to pick things from each other, you know.
Marco, I can't wait to see you on the True Living Tribe meetups on Wednesday night at 7:30
Get on. He works so late. He gets home like 10 o'clock at night. So, and actually that Wednesday call's not really good for me either. The timing's just off. Yet,
well, maybe we could think of another time.
Yeah. And you guys can connect and all that.
You know, we may even want to do another time, you know, for the younger generation specifically, or just an extra, you know, just an extra meetup. Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, look at John Kaya, who comes on at 4:30 in the morning because he's in Kenya. You know, and that's crazy. Hey, John.
We love you, John. The most devoted person. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, he's great. He's great. Love them all. All right, so let's start wrapping it up here. Again, Carina, Bardo, thank you so much for being a guest on Ava's Casual Chat on Hamilton Radio, on Teens with Dreams. And Marco, any last words?
Make your bed.
Make your bed.
You'll see your day go well. Trust me.
Every time I make my bed, I'm going to think of you, Marco.
Once again, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, International Internet Radio Hall of Fame host, Jerry Petito. We love you. The Logan Brothers for our beautiful music. Carina, thank you so much for joining us. And I hope to have you on again sometime and get a lot of the True Living people on the show because I think it's really important that the message we share today is getting spread out there like wildfire. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ruben, and all the people at Hamilton Radio. Again, it's hamiltonradio.net. We are also on YouTube, and we'll be sharing the show around on Facebook. So join us, watch us later, give us some comments, and we love you guys. Ruben, you want to take us out?
Teens with dreams. Teens with dreams.
This is the Legion.
Teens with dreams, yeah. All I wanna do is me when I grow up. Teens with dreams, yeah. All I wanna do is me when I grow up. Even when a dream don't get no harder, it's easy once you started. No use in running away. Mr. Panting said you got it.
Yeah, you got that, and it feels so good to be on track. Even when you fall down, ain't no other way around. Your success is determined by your bounce back. Dream.
Take care, everybody. Thank you. Have a great week. Bye-bye.